الحسنى وزيادة ولا يرهق وجوههم قتر ولا ذلة
للذين أحسنوا الحسنى وزيادة ولا يرهق وجوههم قتر ولا ذلة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear viewers, brothers and sisters, in series of errors and correction from Huda Tv. This program is going to cover some errors some Muslim may fall into. In last episode before, we covered many errors and we clarified the corrections. In this episode also, we will continue mentioning or tackling some errors that Muslim may fall into and the correction. And also one of the errors a Muslim can fall into is actually stealing, or you can call it eating, the money or the wealth of the orphans. And this is also not only it is a major error, but actually it's a major sin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned us in the Quran about this. Muslim should not, actually must not, take even 1 penny from the orphan's wealth or the money until they approve it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الذين يأكلون أموال اليتامى ظلما إنما يأكلون في بطونهم نارا وسيصلون سعيرا. I repeat, إن الذين يأكلون أموال اليتامى ظلما إنما يأكلون في بطونهم نارا وسيصلون سعيرا. Those people who have eating, they ate the money, which means they have stolen the money from the orphans, by oppression. They are actually, what they're doing, they are actually eating or swallowing or digesting, a fire in their stomach. And in the hereafter, they will taste the hellfire. This is a very clear warning for us as Muslim to stay away, to avoid, not to approach the orphans' money by stealing it, by misleading them, by deceiving them, by using the money for our own benefit. If you are actually the responsible, or the watcher on orphan, you should be honest. You should not really take their money until they approve it. So this is one of the major error a Muslim could fall into. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا مَالَ الْيَتِيمِ إِلَّا بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Do not approach the wealth of the orphan unless it's in a good way. With a good way, that means they should be aware of that. They should approve it. They should actually give you permission. That means بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. And also Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam have also warned us. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, اجتنبوا السبع الموبقات. Stay away, avoid the 7 major sin. And one of them, he also mentioned, approaching or taking or stealing the money of the orphans. And also one of the major error that some Muslims fall into, which we call al-baghi. Al-baghi means that denying the truth and hating it, and also oppressing the weak people. Al-baghi in Arabic means, in English, denying the truth and hating it, and also oppressing the weak people. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had warned us in many ayat, with many ayat in the Quran. One of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون الناس ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب أليم. إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون الناس ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب أليم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us. He said, there is, the only way on those people who are oppressing the people, and that's only this is the I will, in other words, the meaning of the Quran, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not punish just anybody except those who are oppressing the people and they are committing baghi, denying the truth on earth without any right. They don't have any right to do that. And Allah warned him at the end of the ayah. He said, those, they will have hard punishment. They will have adabun alim. Also, Rasulullah sallam also said about this error, إن الله أوحى إلي أن تواضعوا حتى لا يبغي أحد على أحد ولا يفخر أحد على أحد. Rasulullah sallam, he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me a revelation, that we should be humble to each other, so nobody will deny the truth of other. And Rasulullah sallam said, don't be even, don't be arrogant, don't be big-headed to other people. You should be humble, you should be nice, you should be really a good Muslim. Treat other like you want them to treat you. If you want, as you like people treat you, you should treat the people. As you want the people to respect you, you should respect the people. Also, Rasulullah ﷺ said, ما من ذنب أجدر أن يعجل الله لصاحبه العقوبة في الدنيا مع ما يدخر له في الآخرة من البغي وقطيعة الرحم. Rasulullah ﷺ said, there is no sin that Allah will punish, the one who committed it, and He will give him punishment during life. Although that Allah have saved him many reward in the day of judgment, and He said the worst of these sins is actually denying the truth and cutting the kinship, which means many people don't really call, they don't visit, they don't ask about their relatives, especially the parents, the aunt, the brother-in-law, also your uncle, your son, your daughters, your sister. These are really very important. This is called the kinship, ar-rahim. So Rasulullah he said, there is no worse sin than that. Of course, the worst major thing is shirk, but also Rasulullah is warning us from al-baghi and qati'at al-rahim. Baghi is denying the truth, and qati'at al-rahim is discontinue your relationship with your relatives, especially parents and sisters and brothers. And also Rasulullah gave us an example when we oppress other or commit a sin. He said, Rasulullah عذبت امرأة في هرة سجنتها حتى ماتت فدخلت فيها النار لا هي أطعمتها وسقتها إذ حبستها ولا هي تركتها تأكل من خشاش الأرض. A woman was actually punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by admitting her in hellfire because she jailed a small cat. She jailed the small cat and she did not feed her. Rather, she released her to go and eat from the ground. So Rasulullah he said, you see, even she is a Muslim. Just because she jailed and she kept that small cat in a place that the cat cannot get food, cannot get drink, and neither she feed that cat, or she release her and let her go and eat from the floor. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has punished this lady in hellfire. And this is actually one of the major errors people. And the correct thing to do actually is they should really treat her nicely, because this cat is innocent and she has soul. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us not to really torch or hurt or burden the animals, whether they are birds or insects, or except the one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us the permission to kill, like rats, the wolf, or snakes, scorpion. This is of course different. Also, one of the errors that some rulers fall into is actually oppressing their people or misleading them. And this is also one of the major errors, if it's not a major sin. So the ruler or the person in command or the one who have authority, this is including also parents, because the father is the ruler or the king of the house, and if he mislead his children or his family, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warned us not to commit such thing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون الناس ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب أليم. إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون الناس ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب أليم. As we mentioned this ayah before, and also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه لبئس ما كانوا يفعلون. Allah has given an example of the Jews that they don't advise each other staying away from wrongdoing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called this لبئس ما كانوا. This is the worst thing they were been doing. This is what they're doing, what they are doing is actually one of the worst sin. So Allah giving us many examples in the Quran to stay away from misleading and lying on the people, on even ourselves or our family. Also Rasulullah said, كلكم راع وكل مسؤول عن رعيته. All of you are shepherd, and each shepherd is responsible of his sheep. So Rasulullah described, the people you are responsible about them, or you are supporting them, is like sheep. So that's why Rasulullah said, all of you are shepherd, and each shepherd is responsible of his sheep. Also Rasulullah said, من استرعاه الله رعية ثم لم يحطها بنصح إلا حرم الله عليه الجنة. Rasulullah said, anyone assigned by Allah about certain people, and he did not really advise them, did not really tell them the truth, did not really warn them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forbidden paradise for him. That means he will not enter paradise. Also, my brother and sister, one of the errors a person can fall into is what happening now in some court. There are some judges, they don't really give the rule according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. So the judge who are assigned to judge between people must really be honest, and then stay away from oppressing the people, because he is the judge and he's supposed to be honest. Brother and sister, we conclude this episode for this time. We're looking forward to see you again, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
للذين أحسنوا الحسنى وزيادة ولا يرهق وجوههم قتر ولا ذلة أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها